Hi, I'm Erik Linask, coming to you from Interop in Las Vegas. I'm here now with Force10's Senior Director of Product Marketing, Kevin Wade. Welcome, Kevin.
Thanks, Erik.
So you were telling me earlier, and anybody who's been here at the show this week would agree that one of the big themes people are talking about is cloud computing. Mm-hmm. That's something Force10 certainly is no stranger to.
Right. Cloud computing is, in fact, probably the single biggest trend here at the show, and so I would tie to that both high performance 10 gig Ethernet operating in data center environments, as well as virtualization, all themes that are kind of interrelated. They're all present here at the show, and in fact, we're happy to say that Force10 has always been a leader in that environment. We built ourselves as a vendor that specialized in building high performance 10 gig E switching platforms for data centers. We have today customers that are operating high-performance cloud computing environments utilizing our products, customers that are well-known like Facebook, Salesforce.com, Yahoo, all of which are happy Force10 customers. So we're happy to see that the industry is kind of converging on something that we've seen since the beginning. Yeah.
And another something going on at the show, so certainly very exciting for you. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing with Ixia.
Yes, again, building on our 10 gigabit Ethernet leadership position in the industry, we're demonstrating in our booth, partnering with Ixia, as you mentioned, what's effectively the world's largest demonstration of 10 gig Ethernet switching ever publicly demonstrated, I should say. There may be larger private networks out there, but so we have in our booth our Exascale 1200 platform, which is our flagship switch router for data center environments. That is switching at line rate over 140 10 gig Ethernet ports, with of course the traffic being processed or generated by the Ixia platforms. So it's a quite large and quite impressive demonstration of more than 4 million flows being switched in a single second, over 1 billion packets per second, over 5.6 terabits of traffic being switched every single second. So it's a real showcase of what's possible in our switch.
So those fairly astounding numbers aside, mm-hmm. Why is the display with Ixia important to Force10?
Well, I guess for a couple of reasons. One is, as you mentioned, it is an impressive demonstration. It's probably larger than what most enterprise customers are looking to deploy anytime in the near term. Sure. But again, it is. The platform was built to be a core switch for data center environments, and 10 gig Ethernet switching is what is primarily the technology utilizing for switching between aggregation routers, if you will. So it is in fact a realistic network environment for a large data center, and that type of performance with being switched at line rate is something that again hasn't been seen in the industry up to this point. So we're quite proud of the fact, as is Ixia, that we were able to show it.
In addition to the demo with Ixia, you've also introduced a new addition to your product line.
Yeah, to that same platform, the Exascale product. It, of course, as I mentioned, does line rate 10 gigabit Ethernet, but for server connections and for some inter-device trunk connections, many customers also use gigabit Ethernet today. So support those applications, mid-size type applications. We introduced a new 90-port gigabit Ethernet line card, or more specifically a 10, 100, 1000 megabit per second line card. 90 ports on a single blade, also quite high density, and by driving up those densities, what we're effectively doing is driving down the cost per port and driving down, more importantly, the amount of power consumed per port. So that new line card does give us now an industry leadership position also in power consumed per gigabit Ethernet port, and that we can be up to 70% lower than almost any of our competitors, our leading competitors in that space.
You mentioned a lot of several customers anyway using gigabit Ethernet. Mm-hmm. What kind of interest, what kind of growth in that market are you seeing?
Well, 10 gigabit Ethernet specifically is really seen. The switch market has along with the rest of the space, has seen some slowing in growth, I guess you'd say, but one of the bright spots in the market is in fact 10 gigabit Ethernet, and it is seen by leading industry analyst groups like Dell Group as the technology that will allow the switching space to grow again. And so we're seeing an increasing number of customers deploying 10 gigabit Ethernet today. So we see that as one technology, again coupled with virtualization and cloud computing and the growth of data centers, is going to kind of bring the industry out of the slump it's been in.
Now, you mentioned that for the last couple of years anyway, cloud computing has really been a hot topic, especially here at this show. But really, it's still somewhat in its infancy. Where do you see cloud computing going in the next year or two?
Well, I think in the next year or two, we'll see cloud computing transition from an area where it is still today. We're on the edge of where there are a few cloud computing environments that are operating, in production networks. Over the course of the next year, it will become more real. Just as it took 10 gigabit Ethernet a year or two from the point where it first started shipping for it to really start to take off last year and 18 months ago. We're also seeing cloud computing now becoming a more real technology where customers today are looking to deploy things like software as a service, with, again, Salesforce.com being a classic example. And we'll see more large data center customers begin to make that technology something that they implement in their networks over the course of the next year.
Great. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
We've been chatting here at Interop with Force10 Networks' Kevin Wade. Kevin, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Erik.
And enjoy the rest of the show.
You too.
Thanks.